This is Aaron B., founder of JamBuzzer.com, and this presentation is an introduction to JamBuzzer and why I created it. So some of you may be wondering who I am. Well, to give you a brief introduction, I'm a music producer who works with up-and-coming artists trying to make a name for themselves. Now, I'm not famous, but I have been able to enjoy the last couple years of my life doing nothing else but working on my own as a full-timer in the music business, simply because over the years, I've come to be somewhat of a specialist in internet music marketing, and I try to help other indie artists get to a point where they can also live life as a full-time music artist with the help of the internet. So why does a person like me, who is already enjoying a full-time career as an independent in the music business, decide to take on another challenge as big as creating a site like JamBuzzer? Well, in order to answer that question, I first need to tell you a short story. You see, a while back, I started producing an album for this extremely talented singer. The talent was so inspiring that I actually created some of my best material for that artist, and the product just came out excellent. And honestly, it should have went multi-platinum, but that's not just my words. Those are actually the words of strongly opinionated managers and industry execs. But you know what happened? After we finished the album, it never went further than her friends, family, and a few people on MySpace. And even to this day, I listen back every now and then to those songs, and I just shake my head in disbelief that people never got a chance to hear this artist. The sad part is, this artist got discouraged and hasn't really pursued their career as an artist since this time. And a lot of people missed out on hearing some really great music. Maybe this has happened to you as an artist. Hey, maybe this is you. Or maybe you're one of the music fans who missed out on hearing many of the hot artists who've gotten stuck at this point. Whichever one you are, whether you're the artist or the fan, both sides are affected by this tragedy. Because I meet new artists all the time with talent that will blow some of the current major artists into the dust. But these up-and-coming artists have no fans, no following, and no success. And at the same time, I meet tons of music listeners who are completely disappointed with what they're being forced to listen to by the industry. So why does it seem so hard for these two groups of people to meet? So I sat around and I started thinking, and listed just a few of the problems that you face if you're an up-and-coming artist in today's industry. And this is what you're up against. You don't have enough money to compete with the marketing dollars that major label artists have at their disposal. Because of that, you don't really have a strong way to get your music in front of truly interested listeners. Radio may be out of the picture for you, as well as a budget for setting up a 30-city tour and traveling all over. You may just not have the funds. And you may not yet have the full knowledge on how to use new methods with the internet to attract thousands of listeners to become your fans. And it's getting harder and harder as potential fans are bombarded by spam every single day. But then I started doing some more thinking and realized that if you're a music listener, you have your own problems that you have to deal with too. As a music listener, you may be getting bullied into listening to what the industry forces you to listen to with their payola and forcing mediocre songs down your throat, playing them over and over again until you just surrender and start to like them. A lot of the new social music networks where you go to find new music are flooded with non-relevant advertisements, as well as the same music that you always hear and see everywhere else. And on top of all this, the majors and the real music associations are suing kids, young kids, for downloading music. But why are so many people illegally downloading music anyway? Could it be because maybe you're tired of being cheated by these thieves? And why do I call them thieves? Well, think about this. Have you ever been cruising along in the car and then a hot song comes on the radio? The song is so hot that you decide that as soon as the album comes out, you're going to be right there at the store to buy it. So that great day comes after all the anticipation is built up, and you buy the album, rip it open with excitement, and pop it into the CD player. But then only 3 words can describe the way you feel as you listen. They cheated me. Your heart fills up with disappointment and anger, and that's when illegal piracy begins, because you realize that you just got robbed. And here's how. They being the robbers behind the artist's release, lured you like a fish with a hot single. Then they convince you that the entire album will be just as good, even better than that single. And after all that hype, they made you pay the full price of a 15-song album, but they only gave you 2 decent songs on the entire album. So now you decide you're not going to let them cheat you again, and that is when the illegal downloading and file sharing begins. Now, it's not right, but these major robbers aren't right in what they're doing either. So who's to blame? Is it the money-hungry labels that cheat the fans and put out albums full of filler songs? Or is it the cheated fans who don't want to be cheated anymore and just want quality music? Now, both sides make a strong argument, but in the meantime, while all the bickering is going back and forth, there are hundreds of thousands of great undiscovered artists who would love for fans to think enough of their music to want to get a hold of it. I know it because I work with these artists all the time, and they're willing to give you more bang for your buck. They just need a strong platform to display their talents, and listeners need a strong platform to discover these artists. Because there are tons of great fans out there who are willing to listen and provide feedback. And these are true music fans that want to be among the first to discover the newest and hottest artists before they go big. And they'll become an army of promoters for you if you're one of these artists. If you give these types of fans what they want to hear, they'll spread your music faster than any standard marketing strategy that you can afford and are trying right now. Because in the music world, fans are the ultimate reason for success. So I wanted to come up with a great way of putting these 2 pieces of the puzzle together, and I decided to give both of these pieces a name. We would call the music artists jammers and the music fans buzzers. I also thought that maybe it would be a good idea to get rid of the money-hungry corporate stiffs and let this new virtual music industry be ran by the people who should be in control, the fans and artists. But why call it JamBuzzer? Well, there was a time when a good song came on, people would say, "That's my jam." And a new artist's success in the music world depends on their ability to come out with songs that generate what's called buzz. So the name JamBuzzer just fits because fans want to find new jams and artists want to build their buzz. So the artists, known as jammers, put up jams, and the listeners, known as buzzers, come to hear and buzz the jams. And that's why with the logo, there's the B, and he's wearing the headphones, listening and buzzing the jams. That, my friends, is how and why JamBuzzer was created. So don't just sit on the sidelines of the industry anymore. If you make music and want to become a jammer, or if you just love to listen and discover new music before anybody else and want to become a buzzer, then visit JamBuzzer.com right now, sign up for free, and start JamBuzzing. Because JamBuzzer is made up of you, the artists and fans who socially build and create the future music business. So come and be a part. Alright? See you inside.